You know, many hotels are absolutely useless when it comes to travellers. They don't understand the first thing. Let me give you an example. Look, I just arrived at a hotel. I've been travelling for maybe 14 hours, more or less continuously. What is the very first thing I want? I tell you, I probably need a restroom quite urgently, but I'm kind of hoping I can get to my room before I need it. And so there I am in the checkout, and every second counts. I'm tired, my blood glucose is low, I haven't eaten any food for hours, I'm thirsty, I need a restroom, I need to get my email, there's a conference call that I'm nearly going to be late for if I'm not in my room in the next 5 minutes. And there I am, standing there, watching people filling out pieces of paper which should have been completed online years ago, the moment they made the booking. Things like passport numbers are crazy to do when you arrive in a hotel. And anyway, shouldn't that kind of stuff be standardized or available online now in some fixed way within the database of the hotel system? And often it's not. Then we have other stupid stuff like, can I swipe your card, sir? And why is that? I've already paid for the room. You have my credit card details. And then there's another thing. People say, oh yes, there's internet extra and this and that extra. Crazy stuff. So I then go to the room. I then find I can't even go online. Why? Because I've got to connect to the wretched system, and then I've got to get my credit card again to pay extra. Why do I want to pay extra in this room anyway? Because it's a business expense, isn't it? I want it charged to my business account. I want it on the room bill. I don't want it attached to the extras, the optional extras, which I have to pay out of my own account. If the person who booked me that room ought to pick up the internet charge. It's part, isn't it? Part of normal room facilities these days. You need hot water, cold water, and you need internet, and you need a bed, and that's about it. So we see all kinds of misunderstandings of the pressures and tensions on a business traveller. And yet it's so easy to sort out. I went into a hotel room the other day. There was the desk the size of a postage stamp. There was no room for more than half of a computer. And by the way, what is the desk full of? Rubbish. Pieces of paper, brochures about a city I haven't got time to see, the stuff for room service. Well, that's useful, but actually it doesn't need to occupy 3/4 of this tiny desk. The first thing I do, and most people I know who travel do this, the first thing I do when I walk into the room is I sweep the desk clear, and then where do I put it all? On the floor, of course. There's nowhere else to put it. So there it all goes. And then the troubles continue, because you find that there's only one power socket, or there's two, but not enough for a light and a mobile phone and your computer to charge. And where are the power sockets? Well, they're hidden under the desk. So there I am, on my hands and knees, still trying to get internet access, under there trying to find a power socket. The only way I can do that is to unplug the lamp. Now the room is in darkness. Why is the room in darkness? Because the designer decided that there was no point in having last century lampshades in the middle of the room. They wanted to be designer friendly. They wanted to be exotic, and they wanted to put little lights all over the place plugged into power sockets. Great, except there aren't enough power sockets, so every time you put something in, you have to pull something out. So there I am, working in darkness, with an internet I'm still struggling to pay for, having got to the room late, with this tiny little desk, with pieces of paper all over the floor. Now I can't even find the room service card. Oh, and another thing. Then you try and find that you want to ring down for room service, and what do you see? You see a telephone with such minute little symbols on it that it's almost impossible to read, even with your reading glasses on, and that's assuming that you've plugged the light back in again in order to read what's on the phone. Listen, my friends, we can do better than that. But you know, it gets worse. Business traveller or leisure traveller, come to that, arrives midnight, needing food. If you're lucky, the kitchen's open. If not, you jolly well hope in the minibar there's something to eat, because if there's nothing there, you're finished. So let's hope there's at least some food or something to eat in the minibar. A banana or a piece of fruit would be nice, and it costs nothing. Here's another thing that costs almost nothing but would save travellers a huge amount of hassle: an iron. Irons are absolutely vital. You arrive at midnight, you're crushed, all your luggage is crushed. Why? Because you didn't want to lose your luggage in the hold of the plane, so you put it all in a little holder and you took it on the flight yourself. In doing that, of course, you crushed your shirt. And you crushed your trousers. If you're a woman, you've crushed your dress. And so how are you going to turn up to breakfast tomorrow morning looking very nice and smart, or go on a platform to speak? Impossible. You need an iron. If there's no iron, what are you going to do? Is room service really going to come and take your clothes away at 1 in the morning and bring them back at 5:30? I doubt it. You know what? There's a simple way I can tell you, a tip, to iron any shirt without an iron and to uncrease any dress. And it's very simple. Take a hanger, assuming it's not one of those funny hangers which you can't unhook. Put what it is that you want to iron on the hanger. Hang it up in the shower. Turn the shower on full blast and leave it there for a full 45 minutes until the whole place is dripping wet with steam and water, and then your clothes will be nicely ironed. What a crazy thing it is not to have an iron. Oh, and another thing, let's at least make sure that there's a knife and a fork in the room. Why is that? Because veteran travellers get tired of room service. They also get very tired of other bits and pieces that they get along the way. And it's quite nice sometimes to just turn up in a room with a piece of bread and a piece of cheese and an apple or something else that you've bought yourself, and to be able to cut it up with a knife and a plate. So let's look at simple things which make a lot of difference to people.